Okay. I want to welcome you all to this session. My name is Teacher Jonah Biarugava. I am a teacher of English language and social studies. For some of you, this is not the first time we are meeting. For some of you, it is the first time we are meeting. So I am going to share to switch on my video in case you are seeing me for the first time who is behind this voice. That is Teacher Jonah. Wow. That is Teacher Jonah Biarugava, and I am happy to be taking you through this SST this morning. And I believe you'll have an easy time learning with us. Consider subscribing to Yaaka for the continuous assistance so that you can get ahead of your academics. So allow me to stop the video and we start right away. Thank you. After stopping the video, I am going to share my screen because we need to start. Okay. We are in social studies, and this is primary 6. As I've told you, my name is Jonah Biarugava. I am a teacher of language and social studies, and I've been doing so for over 10 years now. We are in P6, therefore, we are supposed to look at major resources in East Africa. That is the first topic in primary 6. I don't know whether at our schools we had done it or we had not, but that is the first topic in primary 6. So we are going to go through this one very fast because I believe we need to finish up very fast. By show of hands, if you had gone through major resources in East Africa, you raise the hand, and I see. If you had gone through major resources in East Africa at your school, you raise the hand so that we can get to know. Okay, it seems all of us have not gone through major resources in East Africa. That's Jovian. Jovian, you're going to share with us what you learned, and the floor is yours. Please unmute your microphone and you speak. What did you learn about major resources in East Africa? Thank you so much. Jovian.
I learned about
Yes, please. Yes, Jovian.
I learned about resources. So we defined resources, then we looked at the major resources, renewable resources.
What is a resource? What is a resource? Let's go slowly.
A resource is anything that man uses to meet his needs.
Very excellent.
Then we looked at types of resources, renewable resources, and non-renewable resources.
Yes.
Examples of non-renewable resources: gold, diamond, silver, copper. Then examples of renewable resources: people, plants, animals. That's all I know.
Thank you so much. So we are going to extensively look at those resources as you discussed them. That was Jovian. Jovian, which school?
Good Times Infant School.
In Kawala?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, Jovian. Yes, what is a resource? What is a resource? Jovian has just told us what a resource is. So I am asking the same question. What is a resource? I want answers from you. I am waiting for the hand up, apart from that of Jovian. Jovian has already told us what a resource is. So what is a resource? Okay, even if Jovian had not told us, what do you understand by the term resource? I'm waiting for the hand up. Come on, trust. Yes, Gabriela, what is a resource?
A resource is anything that man uses to satisfy his needs.
This is anything that man uses to satisfy his needs. A resource is a feature found in the environment. It should be in the what? In the environment used to meet people's needs or to satisfy. It means the same, to satisfy man's need, to meet man's need, to meet people's needs. Those are regarded as resources. Types of resources. Yes, before we go to types, Hope, do you understand what a resource is now? Hope?
Yes, I understand.
Yes, anything that man uses to satisfy his needs is a resource. What about you, Jeremy? 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 Trust, do you understand what a resource is?
Yes.
Yes. Anything that man uses to satisfy his needs is a resource. So we have two types of resources. Gabriel, yes, Jovian, the first part type.
Renewable.
Jovian? Renewable. Did you say renewable?
Renewable resources. Yes.
Renewable resources. Renewable resources. The other type?
Non-renewable resources.
Non-renewable resources. So we have two types of resources. We have renewable resources and non-renewable resources. They are just opposites. Renewable is the opposite of non-renewable, or actually it's supposed to be non-renewable in the right English. So what are renewable resources? Now you are going to tell us, you are going to type your answer in the chat. Yes, what do you think are renewable resources? Type your answers in the chat. The question is, what are if you don't know where the chat is, type your answers here. Where you see my type answers there. Anyone who has finished? I'm just looking for a poll. Lillian, would you turn off your video, please? Okay. Some people have already sent in their answers, and that's so good. I appreciate. Lillian, would you turn off your video, please? It is making our stream to lag. Okay. Some of the answers have come already. One from Trust. Trust is saying resources, these are resources that can be recycled after use. Then Jovian is saying these are resources that can be replaced naturally. Those are great answers. Hope is saying these are resources used by man and can be replaced naturally. Great answers. Those are great answers. And I appreciate you. Your answers are really, really good. So let's see. Actually, the idea is about being able to be replaced naturally without man's effort. These are resources which, when used up, can replace themselves after some time, like water, plants and animals, and human resource and land. Even when you use up water, it will find ways of replacing itself, or the ways of, yes, of replacing itself naturally without man's effort. So basically, that is the definition for renewable resources. Thank you, those of you who contributed. Kudos to Hope, kudos to Jovian, kudos to Trust. Thank you for giving your views, and they are all correct views. So we need to know that these are resources which, when used up, can replace themselves naturally after some time. Naturally, that means without man's effort. Even if you cut the trees, after some time you'll find those trees coming back, sprouting. Even if you kill the animals here, you will find after some time the animals will be there naturally without man's effort. Human resource, there is no way you can finish human resource. Land, there is no way you can finish it. It will get back naturally by itself. So that is renewable resources. So they include examples of, these are now the major resources. Major resources. Oh. Oh, okay. Major resources in East Africa. Lillian, would you stop your video, please? Lillian. Thank you so much, Lillian. Such a wonderful child. So would we type some examples of major resources in East Africa in our chat? Peace, you are welcome. This was Peace. This was the one who had Jeremy. Okay. Peace, you are welcome. Yes, I am waiting for those answers in the chat. Yes. Lakes and rivers, that is trust. Someone else, I am waiting for those answers. Lakes and rivers from trust. I am waiting from the rest of us. This is Hope, water, wildlife, great answer. Still waiting for more. Yes, more answers, please. Jovian, you've not yet given your answer, your views. I am waiting. Yes. Okay, that is enough. So allow me share screen once again. So that we can get to know where we are. Yes. Esther, land, great answer. I appreciate you. Major resources in East Africa. Did we do non-renewable resources? Okay, those are non-renewable resources. Non-renewable resources are those resources which, when used up, cannot be replaced naturally. Like how Jovian talked about it, they include minerals like gold, copper, and so many other things. Once they get used up, you cannot replace them naturally. Those ones are said to be non-renewable resources. Non-renewable resources. Now let's get to the examples, just as you've given us. Land, Esther told us about land. Land is a major resource. Water bodies like lakes and rivers, we have minerals, we have climate, human resource, we have vegetation, animals, the domestic and wild. They are all resources that man can use to satisfy his needs. And then wind is also a resource. Man can use wind to satisfy his needs. So we are going to be discussing these resources one by one by one. But today we are going to focus on one of these resources, and that's land. If somebody asked you to define land, how would you define it? By show of hands, I will pick you up and you tell us what you think. If someone told you, what is land? How do you define land? What is land? Which definition would you give for land? Raise your hand and I'll pick you up to give us the answer. Yes. Do we know the definition for land? If somebody asked you what is land, what would you, what comes into your mind? Yes, Edmond. What do you understand by the term land? Just put your hand up. I will pick you and you speak before all of us. Yes, Hope. Again?
Land is a part on the Earth's surface that's not covered by water.
Very great answer. Land is the part of Earth's surface which is not covered by water. If there is a surface that is not covered by water, then that's land. Even if it's a mountain, that's land. Okay? So land, everything else apart from the lake is on the land. Wow.
Yes.
So that makes, Edmond, do you have a different answer? Edmond, or you want to supplement?
No.
Okay, thank
No.
you.
Welcome.
Land, that makes land the most important resource because this is where all other resources are found. Even rivers flow on land. Rivers flow on land. There are so many things that flow that are done on land. That makes the land the most important resource. That is a very common question. They will ask you, why is land considered the most important resource? Land is considered the most important resource because it's where all other resources are found. Is that clear?
Yes.
What are the importance of land? Yes, we want answers from you. What are the importance of land? Edmond?
Man uses land to build shelter.
To build shelter. This is where man builds shelter. Very good.
Also,
Jovian. Jovian, before we get back to Edmond.
Man lives on land.
Man lives on land. No man lives in the air. Man lives on land. Okay, very good. Yes, Edmond.
Land is a mining ground for people.
Yes, land is a mining ground. Yes, Trust. I saw your hand up.
Land is used for farming.
Land is used for farming. Yes, Hope. Hope Mukisa, unmute your microphone and you speak. Okay. Gabriela, are you out of ideas? Importance of land. Gabriela? Yes, please.
Land is used for mining.
For mining. Good. Yes, Gabriela?
Land is used to carry out economic activities.
Like which one?
Like fishing, farming, mining, industrialization.
Okay. And industrialization, yes. Yes, Jovian, as we conclude about that.
Most resources are found on land.
Most resources are found on land. Okay. Yes, please. Last.
Land is used for burying.
Yes, when you die here in Uganda, they don't cremate you, they bury you. Okay?
Yes.
They don't cremate you, they bury you. Cremation is the land. All minerals are found on land, as we have said. Land supports agriculture. Industries are set up on land. Most transport facilities, e.g. roads, are built on land. Land supports growth of vegetation, which is food for all people and the animals. So those are the importance of land. Now we want to find ways in which land is degraded. How is land degraded? How is land degraded? Yes, Hope?
By deforestation.
By the meaning of the word degradation or degradation is how do we lower the value? How do we lower the quality of land? And she has said it, when you cut off the trees, you leave the land bare and you expose it to the agents of soil erosion, which degrades it. Yes, please. Yes, please.
By over cultivating land.
By over cultivation. People can cultivate land for so many seasons without resting it, that degrades it. Yes, Jovian?
Because you're still learning about
Bush burn.
Yes, Jovian?
Bush burning.
Bush burning. Yes, bush burning. When you burn the bush, you actually degrade land. Yes, Hazel?
Through that material.
Hazel, you're breaking?
Through dumping waste materials on land.
Yes, Trust? Overgrazing. Yes, Trust? Can see your hand is still up. Edmond? Okay. Okay. These are some of the things you've suggested: dumping polythenes and plastics on land, over cultivation, when people grow crops season after season in the same piece of land, on the same piece of land, it degrades it. Swamp drainage, that is turning what was a swamp into a place where you can grow crops. Deforestation, there is quarrying. This is the mining of stones, the beating of stones and breaking them into small pieces. Then we have sand mining, then poor disposal of industrial wastes, bush burning, and so many other ways. Those are some of the ways in which land can be degraded, ways in which land is degraded. So those are key things that we need to learn in case we are asked how land is degraded. What is land degradation? Land degradation is the lowering of the quality of land. Is the lowering of the quality of land. Let me just put it in the chat. Land degradation is and the lowering of the quality of land. Land. To know that, there we go. I have put the definition in the chat, so for everyone to see. So how to lower it? By dump forest or animal or industrials. But animals, what do we know about animals? Yes. What do we know about animals? What do we know about animals? So there are two types of animals, domestic and wild animals. What are domestic animals to start with? What are domestic animals? Yes, Edmond?
Domestic
Edmond?
domestic animals are animals kept at home.
These are animals kept at home. Very good. What about wild animals? Yes.
Yes.
Trust. Wild animals. Trust.
Animals are animals that are found in the zoo or parks.
These are animals found in the zoo or parks. So domestic animals are animals that are kept at home by man. We have given examples like cows, camels, and goats, whereas wild animals are those which live on their own in the bush. For example, the lions, the elephants, the hippos, and the chimpanzees. Importance of domestic animals as a resource. Yes, Edmond.
Domestic animals provide people with needs like food.
Yes, yes, trust.
Domestic animals are source of income when sold.
Yes, Jovian.
Some domestic animals provide us with milk.
Yes, Hazel.
Some domestic animals are used for transport.
Some domestic animals are used for transport. Yes, yes, Hope. Yes, Hope Mukisa, unmute. Yes.
Some domestic animals are used for protection.
Like which one?
The dog.
Like the dog. Yes, Edmond. You seem to be a burning answer.
Some domestic animals are used for paying dowry.
Like which one?
Cow.
Yeah, I thought a pig. Okay. So they provide meat and milk used for transport, used for plowing, provide manure, give us milk, give us dowry, and so many other things. Now there are two forms of animal rearing in East Africa. We have not two, actually three. We have dairy farming, we have ranching, and we have nomadic pastoralism. So I leave you with work, with research, and with what to do before our next lesson. You are going to take your time off and find the definitions for dairy farming in East Africa, not the definitions, but you're going to read about dairy farming in East Africa. That means you're going to read the definition, you're going to find the definition, you're going to find some examples of dairy farms, animals kept on the kind of animals kept on a dairy farm. Then we get to ranching. What is the ranching? Places where ranching is carried out, problems facing ranching as a form of animal rearing, and then also nomadic pastoralism. That's what we are going to start with when we meet again, perhaps on Monday. I don't know whether tomorrow we have a lesson, but perhaps on Monday. Yes. Are there questions that we need to answer before we leave today? If you have a question, simply put your hand up and I will choose you to ask. Raise hand and you ask. Yes, please. Okay. If there are no questions, there are a few things that I want to remind you about. This is Yaaka, and number two, invite other people to come and join and study with us, because we are running free lessons for a couple of weeks. Number three, this lesson has been recorded. Just get to your YouTube, go to YouTube and go to Yaaka DN. Yaaka is Y-A-A-K-A, DN is capital D and small n, and then you will follow this lesson. You will find there primary 6 social studies. Follow through, ask questions. The other issue is, if you have any concerns, please ask questions on the group where you have been put, the WhatsApp groups. Ask questions and you'll be helped. Consider subscribing, consider staying with us at Yaaka. Thank you so much and have a good morning.